It was that nice Cockney.
Yeah. We sound kind of like a douchebag, but not full.
Not full-blown douchebags, but just like half-blown douchebags.
Yeah. It's like I'm a little bit better than you, but not. I'm still on drugs.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Tangent Podcast, episode 179 for the week of August 13th, 2018. I'm your host, Brian Thomas, alongside the Beacon of Light, Anthony Salvatore.
Hello.
We got God Mike back there. Steven Sal, how are you, bud?
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing fucking smashing on this wonderful Saturday morning. It's early for those of you. We're not smashed. Not yet. Anthony's drinking. I've got my tea. Because it's 10 o'clock this morning, and last night was a little, not rowdy, but I had a few brouhahas, so I'm a little sluggish. So.
Long over?
Yeah. What was it?
Long over?
A little long over, yeah. A little long over. Long over. And if you didn't know, we're the podcast for the site pixelatedpoints.com, where we talk about the games that we've been playing during the week and a little segment we like to call Under Your Thumb. We take a quick break and come right back with the drunken news. But first, little housekeeping items for you. If you like what you hear and like what you see, please go over to twitch.tv/PXLPTS and subscribe to us there, or go over to youtube.com/pixelatedpoints and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Or you can go over to Twitter, where we shout out everything that we do. And we're at PXLPTS, as you can tell by this. It's over here. You see what we're doing here. We're new with the camera. It's, we're trying to get fancy. So, Steve, I know that you said you took a break from gaming this week. You did some reading, soul searching, things like that. So you got nothing for us.
Long walk on the beach. Yep.
But Anthony and I played We Happy Few, and I think that we should just start it off.
This is it.
We're going to forum it, and then we're going to, get
Fuck
on
everything
to
else, yeah.
Everything else, maybe.
Maybe.
So I played about 2 hours or so of We Happy Few, and how many hours have you played?
Total?
Yeah.
5. But it technically was only...
It came out yesterday.
We're roughly about the same, probably, just because
Probably. So I'm playing the game on easy because I just want to enjoy the story, because that's kind of really what this game is all about. And Anthony, what are you playing on?
Normal.
Okay. So I don't really know where to begin. I guess we can talk slightly about the story, where you are a newspaper editor at a company that is in Britain, 1960s Britain.
Yeah.
That they lost World War II.
So I actually didn't pick that up.
Yeah, so they lose World War II, and Nazi Germany wins. So if you start looking, you'll find boxes with like the eagle and the Nazi
I saw a lot of
swastika.
I saw a lot of British flags.
They're still there. They're still there. They're just under
buried under.
They're just under Nazi rule. And so your character, or all these characters in the game, are taking this drug called joy, which just makes you happy. It makes everything more vibrant. It makes you see what they want you to see. So at the beginning of the game, you decide not to take your joy, and now you're on the run from everybody who is taking joy. So
different perspective on life.
Different perspective on life, for sure. So far, I'm a mixed bag. I'm liking it more than I thought I was going to, because I played the open beta like 2 years ago. When this game has been in like early access and open beta for years.
PAX, what?
2 or 3 years at PAX, and every time I see it, I'm just like, this game is less and less interesting to me. So I rented it from Redbox, and I'm enjoying myself. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. I'm not afraid to say it, Ant.
Normally you aren't.
No, normally I'm not. So there are a few things that I really am just confused about. So there are randomly generated, like procedurally generated areas in this game. Everything it's not like my world is different than your world.
Oh, so it's I guess like most online games where like if you enter a game, it's just generated. So that way no one has the chance of getting the same. It's pretty much No Man's Sky, I guess.
A little bit. And I'm really worried, not worried, but like I wonder why they did this. Because I think earlier on in the development cycle, they decided that they were going to do
a linear.
It was no, it's not.
I know it's not now, but
it's more linear than it was before, because previously it was more of go out into this world and survive.
Oh, it was more of a survival.
It was more of a survival kind of, all right, you need to worry about your health and your food and your water and your sleep and all this other stuff. You still have to do that. Don't get me wrong. You still have to do that. But
it's not as prominent.
It's not as prominent, but the randomly generated world, it was more of, okay, how far along can you get in this game before you die? And now it's a little bit more narrative based, it seems like. They're trying to tell a story here instead of focusing on the survival of the game.
Got ya.
I like what's happening because something is clearly wrong at all
fronts of this
game. So I don't want to spoil too much.
I mean, there's really nothing. How far did you get?
So let's just say I've retrieved an old man's medals.
From the...
Excuse me. From a camp, let's just say.
All right.
So I retrieved an old man's medals, and then I'm like slowly getting my way back into the city.
Yeah, all right. Because that's where I was in the where I was supposed to do that.
Yep.
And then something happened.
Gotcha.
And then...
So a lot of the game is exploration encouraged. It feels like they're encouraging you to explore and scavenge for all these different things.
Yeah, I got a lot of, like they said, the Fallout vibe was kind of like one of those things, like it's like lock picking and like the skill tree is kind of the same deal. And you loot pretty much file cabinets to see if there's stuff in them that you can use, like rags to heal yourself. And
so there's rags, but like you'll find a dirty rag, which could cause infection. And then you're gathering things and surviving. So there's that sort of survival aspect in it as well, where you're scavenging stuff and looting and crafting and just putting everything together that you can. But what's really interesting is Arthur's, the main character's transition from joy world versus reality. So like the joy world, there's a scene early on that everyone's kind of seen is where they're breaking down a piñata. Right?
Yeah, and
then reality sets in and it shows what it actually is. It's not a piñata. Spoilers. So it's one of those like, oh, okay, what's actually here versus what everyone else is seeing. So I'm really interested in that. I'm also very interested to see how the joy mechanic plays a part in like getting around, because I know that if you go into the city you're not on joy, people are like, hey, what the hell's the matter with this guy? Like, why is he's a downer, get him. But I'm interested to see when you go on joy and then you're just walking around town, so that way you can sneak by.
Both with that weird, like he in the beginning of the game, like you said, like he sees it's bright, and then all of a sudden it just goes like dark
and dim.
I'm sure, like as you're walking through the city, you're seeing what the expectation is, like the reality, and it's just like that flashing between like light and dark, pretty much.
I'm interested to see that mechanic a little bit more. Like right now, this is still at the beginning of the game for the audio listeners. We're watching a gameplay video of it, but there's a guy in like a bolo hat that's clearly big and tall and strong, and he's opposing people who aren't taking the joy, and he just stabs them with a syringe, and it's like, you're fucking taking your joy. So there's clearly something going on here, and I'd like to see a little bit more like what the government is hiding, because you're definitely going to run into that at some point.
Well, story-wise, like I said, like when he decides not to take the joy in the beginning, it has something to do with his brother.
Yeah. So you find, as a newspaper editor, what you're doing is you're censoring or allowing things to be printed into the paper. And then there's one article that is about you and your brother who's seemingly deceased. It seems like he's dead. Yeah. I'm not sure if he's alive or whatever.
Well, they capture him like he's in the city, like something happened to him. Something
happened to him, and your character Arthur feels really bad, so he stops taking the joy to remember. And that's one of those propaganda things that's all over the place. It's like a happy country is one that forgets its past.
Yeah.
So everyone forgets what happened. So everyone's just living in the moment, quote unquote, while they're on joy. So I'm really interested. I'm playing it a little bit more guns blazing, if you will. So I'm a huge stealth guy. So, but Dishonored does it the best, and there's no way anyone else does it better. This game, I get slight Dishonored vibes from, but also just like, just go for it. Just go like I've
Well, you
choked
keep-
out a few people, but then when shit hits the fan, I'm pushing them and I'm hitting them with a club or something.
Well, there's no actual way to like kill. Like you can just kind of knock them unconscious.
Well, you can kill people.
Yeah, but I mean, like in the beginning of the game, you don't have anything. Like I was
Yeah.
just like, say, like when I went to the city and did it, like I was just punching the random people to loot them, of course. But
Yep.
but like you don't have the weapon to necessarily kill them at the moment.
Yeah. So right now, I had the choice of choosing between like a sharp wooden stick
yeah.
or like a padded club. So I chose the padded club because I usually play as a good guy. So I have the padded club. I'm walking around. I found a shovel, which I haven't hit anybody in the face with yet, but I'm sure that's going to kill somebody.
I still think you knock them unconscious, though.
I mean, let's be honest. If any one of us got hit in the head with a shovel, we'd go unconscious. But if anyone hit us again multiple times with a shovel, we'd be dead.
Well, not crazy. Once he's knocked out, I'm just gonna loot him.
Yeah, fair enough. But there's lots of looting in this game. There's lots of like running around. Okay, there's a desk. Let me see. But there's not a lot of stuff. Like there's lots of things you can look into, but there's not a lot of things that I'm finding.
It's like predetermined kind of stuff. Like it's set up where like bobby pins are always near something you need to kind of.
Oh, absolutely. So like if there's a lockpick, it's like, oh, you need to get through this. But I'm wondering if that's more like you need to get through these areas.
In order
Here are lockpicks, but then if there'll be locks in the world that you don't necessarily need to, but it's like more of a side thing or exploration.
like you can come back and grab later on.
Yeah, exactly. So that's, but so far everything has just been almost readily available to you. I'm getting slight horror vibes from the game, not like gruesome or gory, but everything is almost tense. Like you're almost always on your toes.
So the weirdest thing actually in like the beginning of the game was like, so when you escape this like tunnel scene,
You're
like,
talking about the childhood house.
yeah, like
that's
and then
fucking
like
creepy.
it's like this vibrant world, like it's grassy. You're out of the joy. It's no longer horror. And then all of a sudden you get to the abandoned house and like the record's playing, and it's like he examines the crib where the children are supposed to be, and all the toys are still left there.
Yeah,
You're
and
like, oh shit, this kind of got dark real quick.
yeah, and it's like you go upstairs and into the bedroom. There's like mannequins that are lying in bed with toys and stuff.
It's got the teacups because you're the British, obviously, so it's the kettle's still there.
I love his commentary on almost everything because he's not this big strong brute. He's like, oh god,
I remember
and he's
how
like
to
running
fight,
away, and he's like, oh, I haven't had a brawl since like elementary school there. Also, right now we're watching a video where you find these glowing masks that you put on, and it shows a flashback and it tells stories about seemingly you and your brother.
Correct. Yeah.
I don't know how many you found, but
2.
did you go into a church?
Yeah.
And you found the church where
The woman offers, she's like, oh, you got to tear up your suit.
you got to rip up your suit. So that's really cool too, because if you're outside the city and all of these people that are out there are people who are, one, either off their joy, or two, took a bad batch of joy, and then they can no longer take joy, and it doesn't affect them like it should. So it's almost like a placebo effect. So now they're like, well, we just got kicked out because we got a bad batch of joy, and that's just tough titties.
And then
So now they're just trying to survive. Yeah. So if you're wearing like a fancy suit, they don't like you. They know that you're from the inside, so they try to attack you. But if you rip up your clothes, now you have torn clothes. You can roam around here, no problem.
You can talk to them,
You can talk to them, get info, things like that. But if you go back into the city, they're gonna be like, this guy shouldn't be here. So you got to play that like, oh, I need to find clothes. I need to switch that.
Well, you can craft you can craft between. So you can, once you hit the torn suit, you can then find materials to craft a proper suit.
Yep.
And then you can kind of switch between the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go back into the city though after that.
I haven't gotten back into the city yet, but there are lots of different areas where we were talking about the abandoned childhood home.
Yeah.
There's also another house that has the story of two loved ones, like two lovers. I don't know if you found that house.
There's 2 abandoned houses. I didn't pick up on the. Oh, it's the 2 love notes sitting on the. Was it the desk?
Did you go upstairs?
I probably did.
You would remember if you went upstairs.
Well,
I'm not going to say, but we'll talk off air.
Okay.
All right. But yeah, so far I'm getting a lot of, I was really hoping for more of a BioShock in this game. Not really getting BioShock.
Yeah, not really.
It's influence for sure, but it does feel very Fallout / Dishonored.
It takes a lot of elements from a lot of different games.
Mm-hmm.
and kind of like it does it pretty well. Like I said, the skill tree thing, the whole like looting of everything, and the horror aspect does remind you of like, and then it does look like Dishonored, the sneak factor.
You also need to be constantly checking your health and water and things like that. So like there's rotten carrots that you can eat. You can eat a rotten carrot if you want, but then you'll get sick. So
the water, but even on normal, like you said, I don't know how it was for the bear, but that aspect wasn't like prominent. Like it didn't deplete like well
quickly.
Enough. Yeah, so like it was done pretty well. Where it wasn't. It was more of like a side thing then.
Okay, yeah, because I'm playing on easy because I didn't want to have to worry about that kind of crap. I was just like, you know what, fuck it. I just want to go and do it.
Even health wise, like fighting wasn't. Like I said, the part happened when I decided to fucking just randomly punch people, and the second time was actually in the city where you switch between the club. The two chicks ended up.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, you got to heal, and they take all your shit. So
yeah, you kind of. Yeah. You really with combat though, you have to be on your toes. You can't just be swinging wildly because you'll run out of stamina. So I was doing a lot of blocking and then waiting for my shot.
Yeah. It's pretty. It's pretty fluid. I mean, even with the stamina, like I said, I didn't find. Oh, normal wasn't that difficult.
Easy is a breeze. Like I'm not having any difficulty whatsoever. I've had to heal myself once, and that's because I was choking somebody out, and some dude was like, "Hey,
just walked up.
Don't be doing that," and he hit me, and I was like, "Oh shit! All right, you're dead. You're second guy, you're dead. Third guy, you're dead.
Shovel this shit."
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. And again, this is a full $60 or $50.
$60 game.
And it's a full $60 game. I rented it from Redbox for $7 for 3 nights. So I suggest if you're vaguely interested, you do the same. And if you don't have Redbox in your area, I apologize. Maybe do fucking GameFly or something. Something. Just do it.
Or just buy it and return it.
Or buy. Can you do that? You can't do that.
Walmart takes anything back. You can do that.
Well, apparently Walmart takes anything back.
You have to put the original disc in there. They'll take it back.
Fair enough. But let's move on from We Happy Few. And Anthony, you played 2 other games. Which one do you want to talk about first?
Well, which one do you want to hear first? I know Chasm's.
Let's do Mafia, and then we'll end on Chasm for you.
All right, so Mafia 3 was free this month for PlayStation Plus. I know another member here had played it before.
Yep, that's good old Justin Kane.
So it is kind of a knockoff of like GTA. It reminds me of Streets of LA.
Okay.
The GameCube, stuff like that. You play
True crime.
Yeah. You play the story of Lincoln Clay, set in Louisiana in 1968.
Lots of racism.
Very heavy on the racism, but a very accurate description. I mean, it tells you in the beginning of the game, like they're trying to go for the most accurate description of what events
would have been back then.
What would have transpired.
Okay.
Back then, he served in the military. He comes back. He realizes his family's kind of in trouble with the mafia. It's kind of the Italian mafia.
Mafia 3. Mafia. That makes sense.
Yeah. It's kind of going that way. Something happens, I won't spoil, and he's kind of on a war path to kind of...
Would you say that he's on a rampage?
Yes.
Yes. Do you know Archer fans here?
I haven't seen Archer in years.
Oh, my God.
All I know is the little ants one.
Yeah,
this
is
how we get ants.
Anyways, so he's on a rampage to kill people.
And Lana.
Yep. Yeah. So you're killing people, you're stealing cars, you doing drugs? What's...
no drugs.
No drugs?
Not that I know of. There might be further on in like the game. I know you kind of heal yourself that way. You take like adrenaline, but other than that, it's pretty much.
So third person like shooting, very similar to Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
Like fighting Grand Theft Auto. It seems very Grand Theft Auto.
It is. Yeah, it's pretty much.
Are you enjoying your time with it?
The storytelling in this game's, I think, pretty fucking good because it does like the whole like FBI thing where they're telling the story of.
Oh, so it's like here's the FBI story of Lincoln Clay, and it's like, and then it zooms in. It's
it
like,
cuts
boom.
to people doing like the interview, and then you play the event that kind of transpired.
Okay, I like that.
And then it lets you kind of at a certain point it stops the story and lets you just go into the open world of
Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Is it actually New Orleans like Louisiana?
Mardi Gras happens.
Oh, so I was more wondering if it's the state of it's like a real world location. It's not. It's not like Los Santos.
like a fiction. No,
It's not a fictional city, it's a
I
real
wanna
city,
say it's
right?
fictional.
You want to say it's fictional.
'Cause I- like,
Do they
it's-
call it Louisiana?
Yeah, it's Louisiana. It's just like I think it's a fake city in Louisiana.
Oh, okay. All right, that's fine.
But I would have I'd have to either look it up. But I have
But
no,
they are saying it's a real world location. It's just maybe the city's fictitious.
Correct.
Gotcha. Cool.
just to kind of either protect the name of the city or
This is a very fancy building for 1968. That's all I'm saying. It's a real nice looking building. Nakatomi Plaza. Anybody?
no,
No.
nope. I'm assuming you've been to Louisiana.
I have, but that was from L.A. in Die Hard. That's where Hans Gruber falls from, the Nakatomi Plaza building. Anyways,
Wow.
yeah,
A little
I've
bit
got
of movie,
a little bit of movie history
Yeah.
for you.
in Louisiana.
I'm not gonna lie to you. This actually does look a lot like Louisiana.
Like I said, I'd have no.
This looks a lot like Louisiana.
All I know is you go to the swamps, and I'm like, this is pretty much what I envisioned Louisiana to kind of look like.
This looks a lot like Louisiana.
Like the city.
Yeah. New Orleans, if you will. This looks a lot like New Orleans.
Like I said, you do Mardi Gras, and that's pretty much.
So, gameplay,
Gameplay's a little. Some aspects are a little bit like clunky, kind of.
like what?
Like combat wise, there's a few like if you fight hand to hand, there's a few like brutal takedowns are a way to like if you're sneaking, it's fine, but like up close, like if you tried to do a takedown like real quick, there's sometimes it kind of prevents you from doing that.
Okay.
Driving's a little bit. I mean, obviously, if you're comparing it to like GTA,
There's
like
going to be some issues.
Yeah.
Let's just be fair. I'm a huge fan of the
the cars.
UI here.
No, it's a real like
So the UI, he's driving right now for
Yeah.
the audio listeners. He's driving, and at the top of the screen, it's literally a rear view mirror. It's an outline of a rear view mirror that you can see everything behind you, which is fucking sweet. But then at the bottom, it's your accelerometer, which is how fast you're going. That's really cool.
Yeah, it was also so if you I don't know if you noticed early on in this trail, people can't see. There's a little blue indicator, and you see them on the screen. They're
Yeah.
actually police. So if you don't obey,
The rules of the road.
they actually stop to
Awesome.
like follow you or like this suspect in pursuit,
Mm-hmm.
and you can choose what to kind of do from there. Do you want to fight him off? Do you want? I mean, they're easy.
Can you
to,
pull over and go like, "I'm sorry, officer"?
no, I've never pulled over though, so I actually don't know if that's
I
true.
want to know if you can pull over, Anthony.
I just keep driving.
Next week, I'm gonna hassle you about.
About pulling over to the side
About
of the
pulling
road
over to the
and
side
see
of
if
the
he
road.
tickets me and I lose some money.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
See, like you see the
Yeah,
top
you
right,
can see like the blue outlines closer to the center of the screen.
and it kind of does that when you walk. Like, so if you commit while you're doing the crimes in general of
Mm-hmm.
like taking down the mafia people, if there's a bystander by, he'll call the police.
Oh, all right.
And then you have to
You gotta kill that guy.
Well, once you call it, then you either can choose to fight the police, wait it out, and then go back.
Or can you just kill that
You
witness?
can,
and
you can
then-
kill them, but you're not gonna know they're gonna call. It just tells you like, oh, like someone saw what you were doing.
Gotcha. Okay, I see what you're saying.
They called the police, and then you're like, well, shit. Now I have to kind of lay low for a bit.
Now, this game does look good, and maybe I'll just click to download it, but I feel like this is one of those games that I'd play for maybe 2 or 3 hours and go like, all right, I see what this is doing. I'm done. I'm never going to get back to it because I
So-
missed it, and now I don't really have a whole lot of interest in playing the game.
It's definitely a long haul type.
Yeah, it's going to be like a 30 to 40 hour campaign,
Yeah.
but do you see yourself playing this a little bit further, or?
I do, except for if I play We Happy Few, but it does get like repetitive.
Yeah. Is it a lot of the same missions? Are the mission styles different at
It's
all,
different
or?
people you take down, but it's nothing like like I said, he's on the rampage of like he's killing everybody. And then
So he
all
just hideout number 47, dead.
Correct.
All right, move on to hideout 50.
like he's pretty much telling you need to take this part of the city, you need to take this part of the city, and it's all killing. Like you can interrogate him, you can kind of have him join, but it's still the same like beginning of it.
So
where
is there like like there's a map where it's like, all right, you own 10% of this area. You need to.
so it'll give you indicators on the top of like if you're taking down one of the bosses that operates out of this area, he has like a fund, he's like $30,000, and you have to either destroy enough of his. You either have to steal the money or kill enough of his henchmen that depletes, and you can finally like take him on.
Oh, all right.
And either, like I said, interrogate him. Some you just kill. Like obviously, I know there's a few scenes from this game that are infamous.
Sure.
The gator scene.
Oh, yep. Gotcha.
There's
Okay.
a few others where like when he exacts his revenge on certain people, we're like you have to kill him.
Oh, I see.
And he does it in a pretty
Gruesome way.
Yeah. Because he survived he got shot in the head and survived.
Well, that's a tough son of a bitch. unlike Arthur from We Happy Few.
Yeah, who can just not
He just
operate
runs
on joy.
A lot of people just tell him. They'll say like, "Don't even bother fighting. Just push him and run away," because your character is extremely fast. But anyways,
Well, I figure that's all British people kind of.
You know what? I've never met a British person.
Oh,
I don't think. Maybe I have.
because
I don't remember.
we won that war.
Yeah. Anyways, anything else about Mafia 3 that you want to mention?
No, that's about it. It's a dumbed down version of like GTA 5. If you
But
like,
it's free and it's fun to play. So
oh, it's always fun.
yeah,
I mean that kind of shit.
you're not going to have any issues with the fun.
No.
Is what you're saying.
Nope.
All right, cool. You also played Chasm,
I did.
which is another game that we originally found at PAX East.
We did. Last year. Oh, this year.
Not this year, the
The
year
year
before.
that.
And this game came out at the end of July, and it's a side-scrolling Metroidvania.
Yep.
It always reminds me of Game of Thrones. Like, I know that you're not a Game of Thrones guy,
Yeah, I would never.
but
well, I wouldn't.
you're in a brotherhood, really, of knights,
Yeah.
and then you go off and do missions.
See, here's I don't know if what happens after, like, you do one mission, and this is the kind of the problem.
Okay.
I think is where it's that one mission, and that's it for the game.
Oh, okay. So, to be fair, that mission is, hey, go save these people from this town. You get to the town, no one's there. You're like, what the fuck's happening?
And then you end up going into this like labyrinth of catacombs and fight all these bosses. It's supposed to be this simple. So like, oh, this town's valuable to us. It's a simple mission.
Yeah.
Just go help the city out. And then you get there, and then like you said, nobody's there,
Mm-hmm.
and you realize all the people from the city are in these like captured pretty much.
Yeah.
And it turns out to be more elaborate.
It's a small mining town, so you go into the mines or whatever.
You go, yeah, the cave first. It's mines, and then like it's different layers. But that's the only, like, that's that one dungeon.
So it's all it looks very similar. Everything looks very similar.
Well, it does it in different layers, so it's weird. Like the first layer, it looks like a cave.
Mm-hmm.
When you beat the boss for like, it's like pretty much like one. It's like worlds, like 1-4. Once
Mm-hmm.
it's like the fourth level, that and you fight the boss, you get to like 2-1, which looks different. It'll look like an actual like catacombs, like the
Okay.
skulls on the wall, and like you're now into a heavier. And the enemies are different.
Okay.
The best part about the enemies is like each one definitely has a different. It's a memorization of attack patterns.
Yep.
So it's actually pretty simple to.
Dodge.
When you first fight it, it's the whole like you wait it out, you memorize it, and then like
It's very similar to Castlevania in that aspect of like the fighting. Not so much like Metroid, because Metroid
Yeah.
you can shoot. In this, it's more you got a sword and you have like a special item that you can toss or something, right?
you have to buy them from the like you can throw like shurikens or like knives and stuff like that. It does have elements where like you still upgrade like your weapon.
That's what I was going to ask. Are there like RPG elements where you can upgrade things? Does your character get stronger at all, or is it just
Yep.
as
So you do level up. They're not. I mean, it's leveling up's kind of like a little bit.
like a back burner thing, or
Kind of. It's like it helps you out. Like it's weird because like it helps you out, but not really. Like it's a slow increase of like.
so it's not like you go from level 1 to level 2 and now you notice that yourself become stronger.
Yeah.
It's like from level 1 to level 7 is clearly stronger, but
And I'm wondering like whole game aspects. Like I'm level 11 now, and I know I'm like 40. It tells you when you start like I'm 43% complete with that like one dungeon, or like
Gotcha.
exploring the rooms of like. I assume it's the whole kind of game.
okay. So this character just picked up a short sword. Do you still have that sword, or do you get new swords that
Nope.
you level up?
So I bought the sword from the blacksmith. I think you rescue inside the.
Okay, so can you go back up to that mining town and like buy things from them?
Yeah. So the best part about like you get to, like if you were just fighting like thinking that you'd have to go through the whole thing, but it does it so like you can warp back. It gives you like this magical door where you can go through.
I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, correct.
Instead of fucking climbing all the way
All the
back,
way back up,
you're just
yeah.
like, get me that door, give me this door. I'm back where I was. That's a perfect.
Backtracking mechanic, especially since like I said, if it's like it actually does it within the door, so you can go into like certain areas where shortcuts, and then you can just warp to the door completely, and it brings you to the next level of.
Huh.
So going back between the city to grab like healing things or spend to upgrade equipment,
So right now we're watching this dude basically moonwalk backwards,
which is-
which is a dodge roll, or not a roll, but like a dodge dash backwards.
Yeah.
Find yourself using that in combat a lot?
On certain enemies, yes, but mostly no.
Okay.
It's actually, like I said, used it for one enemy. Other than that,
Not a whole lot.
not a whole lot.
Question for you. Does your character always look like this?
Yeah.
Or so like if you upgrade and you find a different piece of armor, it doesn't change?
Nothing changes.
I wish that they would do that more often in like these kind of like pixel-based games. Like
It'd be tough.
I know I hate to go back to Octopath Traveler, but when you change your job, you change outfits.
True.
And you're like, oh, that's cool. So like High Aunt looks like this when she's a huntress, but then you give her, a white mage and she's got like robes on now. And like that's kind of cool.
But the problem, I guess, with the pixel, it's tough to distinguish between so Ulbricht's sword always looks the same, and it's a distinguishable sword because it's mentioned in the game.
Mentioned in his
like for
storyline.
pixel art, like if you're playing Final Fantasy, like when you switch the weapon, like it looks completely different. Like, oh, this sword might be weak, but you're like, oh, it looks fucking cool as shit.
Yeah, but
And here it's kind of tough to.
yeah, I mean the pixel art is very fluid in this though. That's one thing I will say. Like you can see it when he's running. You know what I mean? Like in his arm movement, it looks really nice. Now, you're playing this on PS4, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there is actually another mechanic of this game that's actually pretty interesting, which I don't remember from PAX, which is it has like Super Mario Bros. What they call it, platforming.
Oh, okay.
It has it's actually pretty elaborate with the platform because it's disappearing like platforms that you have to kind of climb.
Okay.
To
and
keep-
like to jump to and different things.
So there's a mechanic in it, which I'll just spoil anyway because it's not a big deal, where he gets like a gauntlet where he clips on, he can hang on to ledges.
Okay.
And you pretty much vault from
Ledge to ledge.
Is actually one of the most fun things to actually do in the game.
How many hours are you in on this? 2 or 3?
Not more than that.
Like
10
10?
to 15.
Oh, wow. Okay. So I was wondering if it was more like, okay, it's very Metroid that way. So you're like, oh, I can't get up there, but I got that gauntlet. Oh, wait a minute. Now I can go back, climb up there using the gauntlet. I wonder if you'll get more items like that. Because you know how, like, in Metroid, it'd be like a blue door, and you can't get through it unless it's an ice beam or something.
Yeah, you freeze it. Yeah, correct. Yeah.
So have you come across anything like that where you can't get in or get to yet?
Yeah. Well, and technically I have it now, but you get also a like move you do, which is the slide. Like normally you can't duck.
Oh, so you can slide underneath.
You
like,
slide. You're supposed to slide it.
You
So
can
like,
see it. Yeah.
and once I got it, I went to a whole other like section of the map, and like you couldn't
Couldn't
by.
get to before. That's cool.
So there's like the backtracking element of like now you know like oh
This is definitely one of those. If it ever comes to Switch, I'll buy it. Or if it's like $5 on PlayStation, I'll buy it. Because this game I really loved. I loved playing it, but right now there's so much shit that I'm playing. And it's kind of like right now I got to beat Octopath. I'm playing We Happy Few. I don't know if I'm going to buy it, if I want to beat that, and then clear out some backlog stuff before Spider-Man comes out the 7th of September.
yeah you get a short window for Octopath's gonna.
I think, but Octopath I don't need to finish. That can be my bring along anywhere game. You know what I mean?
Just kind of grind it, just chip away.
Chip away at it. I could beat that game in 2 years and I'll be fine.
Wow.
Totally fine. But yeah, I'm really enjoying my time with that. But I think I would really enjoy.
You would. The only like said downside. So it is actually on sale for PlayStation. If you're PlayStation Plus, it's $17.99
instead of the full 20.
$20.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm just gonna make this assumption. This game is worth the $20 for you.
I'm kind of on the fence. Like it's fun. Like I was like the value wise, like it's kind of like $15 would have been. Like I think it would have fucking nailed it.
Okay, so you think that? Do you think that it would have helped sales to be that, or do you think that you don't value it at $20 type of thing?
Probably a personal thing.
Okay.
Like I said, relatively quick. Like I said, only because I think one of the things that's killed me is like this is it. Like it's just the same like.
The same environments over
If
and
it's
over
the one
again.
mission, like I was like waiting to try to get further along or to see if I can get through this one like dungeon type deal.
Save the people and then go back and do another thing.
I know that's correct. Like
Well, I guess what you could do is, right, you could, if you want to make DLC for this game,
you
that
add a
would
second.
you add a second. You beat the game and you go back and then add a second mission. which would be a good idea.
Because, like I said, I feel like the warrior, like you're this rookie warrior, and it's just like he gives you this one mission. So I don't know if the end game's going to be like, whoa, like you did more work than necessary. Like, here's a second, like, here's something else you can do, like fight this kind of enemy. Because the boss battles are actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's based off like a lot of platforming of dodging like perfectly and like memorization of the moves.
Okay.
So it has a little bit of the Dark Souls mixed with like kind of like the Mario platforming of
I see.
going over the enemy.
Very cool. But what is this troll unlocked thing? If you kill enough people, do you have like a bestiary that shows you where all the enemies are? Oh,
It'll
that's
tell you
cool.
how much like HP they got and
I
like stuff
see.
like that.
Cool. All right.
Each enemy has a different number you have to kill.
Oh, I see. All
And you
right.
can
So
only
it's like
find-
you got to kill 20 worms, you got to kill 10 trolls, you got to kill 4 fucking, what are these things?
Porcupines.
Porcupine things, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Very nice. You have anything else to kind of mention about Chasm? Or, I mean,
No, that was it. Like I
Yeah.
said, something for the Switch. It would be when it comes to the Switch, it definitely is one of those games that would fit it perfectly.
Yeah, I feel it's one of those. I feel
But
like
all those
it's that's my indie machine now.
Yeah.
like I've got my mainline Mario and Zelda and all my Nintendo stuff. But any indie game, don't
It's-
bring it to anything else besides Switch.
Switch.
I don't give a shit.
Or it has to at least be on like
Yeah, if it's gonna come out like Guacamelee 2, I loved Guacamelee. I don't think it's coming out to Switch day and day, which makes me a little sad. And I'm like, do I just buy it for the PS4 because I love that game, or do I
would you wait?
and get it on my Switch? I don't fucking know. You see, options. But I will tell you, I did buy a nice little indie game on the Switch this week. I bought 2, but I'm only going to talk about one.
oof. What do we got?
And that is Chameleon Run. So, for those of you that don't know, Chameleon Run is quite infamous around here on the Tangent Podcast because this game is fucking sweet. It is it's not a forever runner, but it's a
Platforming.
platform. It's a cut your teeth on the grindstone platformer. It's not for the faint of heart whatsoever. You're constantly running, and it starts off as you are, this yellow guy that's running on a yellow platform, and then you jump and you switch to a pink platform. So you have to jump off of the yellow platform and then press another button to switch your color. And so you're constantly running, switching colors. But within each world, each map, are different colored platforms, and you don't have to take one road. There's multiple levels. So there's, platforms that are higher, there are some that are lower. So you can
Some
really kind of make
vertical.
it your own on how you want to go about finishing the level. Sometimes you do have to follow one path, but
For the most part,
for the most part, it's pretty open. And I think what makes this game work so well is the same thing that makes Cuphead work so well, is that when you die, you immediately get back into where you were. It's not like you're like, oh fuck, now I have to, you start back from the beginning of the level, but each level isn't too long, and so you'll get far on one playthrough, and then you'll die, and you're like, oh fuck, and then
it's just a quick memorization.
so
you don't
yeah,
forget
you
what-
understand where things are and what you need to be doing. So it's kind of like quick muscle memory. And obviously, you can fall, but there's also black platforms that you have to avoid. So if you hit a black platform, you die. So
You can't touch.
you can't touch the black platforms or the water below. So Steve, I think, was it you that got us onto this, or was it Gary?
Gary, but
You championed it.
I championed it once I played it.
And-
I played a lot. I
think you finished it.
finished it, and then there was
DLC type.
some DLC. I don't even know if it was DLC. Just
It's extra stuff.
with an update. They gave us extra levels, and
I will tell you this: the Switch version is all the DLC stuff,
Yeah.
which I never went back to.
Oh, okay.
So I can tell you right now, I'm already on the halfway through the second world on this,
Okay.
and I'm fucking loving it. Playing on the Switch though, so we should mention that we played this on mobile previously.
better.
Yeah, I played on mobile. Yeah.
I don't know if it's better or not, Ant. That's a good. That's a.
That would have been my kind of question. Like, what do you think of it on the Switch?
So
compared
that's
to
the reason I bought it on the Switch, because I thought I wonder if it'd be better than the touch controls, because it's not touch controls on the Switch.
It's the Joy-Cons.
So you play as the Joy-Con. So the left Joy-Con switches your color. Any button on the left Joy-Con switches your color, and the right Joy-Con jumps. So you can double jump, and that's it. So you're literally just pressing 2 buttons on the opposite side of the Switch. And for that, I will say it kind of took a little bit getting used to, because anytime
fucking
you
up
play
there.
a platforming game, what do you expect your left hand to do?
Control the.
Yeah, control where your
Yeah,
character's
control
running.
where you're going,
But
yeah.
you're always just constantly running in this game. So you're not...
Like, so yeah, you're
What'd you
probably
say the
switching.
left did?
The left changes
Switch
your color.
color.
This guy is terrible.
Okay.
Well,
This
now
guy
it
is
was. In the-
fucking awful,
in the
the
beginning,
one that we're watching. Just hold the jump button longer. Sorry, so if you hold the jump button longer, you jump further. If you, and then you can do double jumps, and it encourages you to not jump off of every platform. Some platforms, it makes sense to just fall off of and then do a double jump from the air.
Rookie mistake.
Yep. So I'm really enjoying my time with this. I was playing it in the break room at work, and Carl, for those of you that remember Carl walked in, and he was like, "What are you playing?" And I think I sold him on this. Because he was like, "Oh, this looks fun." I was like, "It's a blast." Like you're gonna fuck up sometimes, and you're like, "Oh, motherfucker, I had that," but you're gonna really enjoy your time with it. And he was like, "Oh, I don't know, like I shouldn't spend money on another game." And I'm like, "It's $3."
Do you own a Switch, by the way?
Yeah, he owns a Switch.
does he?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, he owns a Switch.
Everyone's playing at work. Just fucking.
So I'm really excited to be replaying through the game. It's gonna be one of those like, "Oh, I have 5 minutes to kill. Boom, let's do this." Because it is perfect for those like 5 to 10 minute chunks that you have. Like, if you're waiting for a train or something like that, like
Oh, yeah.
pull it out on your phone. If you're, it's taking a shit,
Brian
Perfect-
Shitter game.
Perfect Brian Shitter
I
game.
think that's how it would happen, right? No, actually,
No,
it wasn't,
'cause
it wasn't
Gary-
everything,
yeah.
but
But I think this was the first Brian Shitter game that we donned as a shitter game.
yeah, I think collectively.
Slaying.
Slaying. Oh, wow.
that's
I forgot about Slaying.
It was just,
But
I don't know if I said it at the time, but I'm thinking of it now. This is definitely a speedrunner's game,
oh, for sure.
and it reminds me, like, it just reminds me of Mario Maker
Oh, yeah.
for like if you're playing expert levels where you grind it. So there's lots. I mean, as you get further into the game,
Oh yeah, I think it was the second to last level.
yeah.
Fucking destroyed me for weeks.
And I remember-
then the last level I beat no problem.
And I kind of vaguely remember when I was playing it that like I would just sit there and just constantly I would just grind at it because it was that kind of game where I didn't get
Frustrated with
frustrated
dying.
at all. I was
I
just,
think-
I know I can do this. Like I didn't. It's not that the game is cheap. It's like
Oh, I know. I fucked up that timing.
I
of
messed.
that jump.
Like I didn't do the thing I needed to do at the correct time.
For
and
sure.
that's what makes this. Well, I think that's why I liked the game a lot when it came out because it wasn't like like a Ninja Gaiden where you go,
Fuck you.
yeah,
you gotta
it's
be-
like
you gotta
you're
be good.
It's hard because you're making it hard.
Yeah,
whereas
it's not. Yeah, it's just
everything about it, even on and it's surprising too at the time, or even probably now. It's because it was a mobile game where you think like, oh, like that's what's inhibiting it. But at no point did I feel like, oh, if this was on something else,
Switch, or PS4.
it would be easier, or it's like, or,
No, it's-
just whatever. It's like even on the phone, I never felt like, oh, the phone's screwing me over.
Yeah,
you know?
it's not like, oh, this sucks for. It's perfect for touch phones, but
It's
it's also
like,
it
yeah.
works really well with a controller. Yeah, so I can absolutely see this being a speedrunning game. I've actually looked on the on the App Store and stuff
Choose the
to
top.
see just to see if this developer has made any other games that are worth my time. And unfortunately, they haven't. But they've really struck gold with this game, and I wish that they would make even a Chameleon Run 2. Change up the colors, add
New
like
levels.
multiple colors, but then that might be a little too difficult. So I'm
Well, the colors, I don't need them adding more colors because these colors are actually good for
Yeah,
me.
but you can
Yellow
do
and
distinguishable
magenta.
colors.
yeah, if you do like yellow, pink, maybe blue,
Yeah,
So-
that's true. I could have sworn maybe
because there are unlockable
was
platforms.
there a DLC that had one extra color as like a little.
It could be, but I don't
challenge.
know.
I don't know. I might just be making that up, but
I
Something
love
you
I love
wanted.
this game, and I would highly recommend it. Right now, it's on sale on the Nintendo eShop for like $3. So definitely check it out. And I think that's actually going to be it for Under Your Thumb this week because we don't have any other games, right? You haven't played anything.
Nope.
Nothing. All right, so
From
that's
God
gonna
Mike? No.
yeah, nothing from God Mike over there.
nope.
Nada. All right, so we're gonna take a quick break and come right back with the drunken news. So stick around, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Tangent Podcast and the Drunken News. We're going to get into it, but first...
Whoa.
Because I am good at 3 things: fighting, screwing, and reading the news.
It's an awesome introduction. If you guys are...
Always classy.
If you're watching this, good for you. If you're listening to the audio version, also good for you. But it would really just make a lot more sense for you to understand what the hell we're talking about and what we're seeing if you just go over to twitch.tv/PXLPTS, or you can watch it live there, or you can catch it later when you're not so busy on youtube.com/pixelatedpoints, because we throw it up there for your viewing pleasure.
Just that clip.
Just that one clip.
And then you can.
It's
you're
an
all set.
awesome news introduction. The Drunken News. And let's get to it. So first piece of news that we have comes from Jacob Geller over at GameInformer.com. Lords of the Fallen new studio is throwing out all of its previous work and starting from scratch. So Lords of the Fallen is certainly one of many games that emulate the Dark Souls series. Let's see. In an effort to differentiate the sequel from its original aspirations, Lord of the Fallen 2's new developers say it isn't using any of the previous work done by its game's former studio, according to an interview with Eurogamer. So, in June, the series publisher CI Games announced that Defiant Studios would be taking over the reins from the game's original developers, Deck 13. Lords of the Fallen 2 had been in pre-production with Deck 13 for a couple of years, but speaking with Eurogamer, it's clear Defiant intends to steer the series in a new direction. Did you play this game, Lords of the Fallen?
I did not.
Okay.
Gary was actually the only one who did play it. I did say that he actually mentioned the direction of the second one, and he said like relative that it was like Dark Souls, that I'd probably enjoy it. But to just toss out.
No, I know. Yeah, it's a lot of years of work, but let's be honest. If we put years of work into something and it was trash,
But the whole thing is, if it's not like the first one. So like if people are expecting, like he said, he explained what 2 was like. It was the same style, so it would have been the same combat as like what he would have
but
loved.
to be fair, Lord of the Fallen 2 or Lord of the Fallen 1 didn't do well.
Correct. Also true.
So maybe you need to switch it up in order to keep the studio alive.
So it's, I mean, it's tough to say whether direct. I mean, do you keep the loyal fans, or do you appeal to the masses and then go for something more?
You know what, Anthony? It's the tale as old as time.
It's a good movie.
Yeah. But no, I agree with you. Like, do you cater to your current fan base, or you try to like appeal the masses and spread your net as wide as humanly possible?
To get either bring new people in, or like you said, when you change it up, hopefully it appears or appeals to a new audience that the game sells better than the first one, and you can continue working, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I think with me personally, I think that I'm not a Dark Souls guy. I actually am anti-Dark Souls.
It is a niche.
I feel like it's become a little bit more broad as of late, but with Lords of the Fallen, I know a lot of people who played Dark Souls played this game because they were looking for something else, and they were like, it's not Dark Souls, but it's still fun. It looks really cool. So,
different environment.
Me personally, I think that you don't just stick with your niche audience. You try, especially when the first one doesn't sell well. Like if the first one sold well,
Change it up.
and you want to change up a little things, cool. But the first one didn't do so hot, so you have to do something in order to make the second game more of a success. So that way you can continue.
Which would have been great had that been like I said, like they scrapped. It's been the first one came out in what?
2013, 14?
Yeah, so I mean, talking 5 years of work.
Yeah.
If they started directly after, even not, but to just get rid of it.
It's a lot.
So even then, like going for the new direction,
Kind of sucks.
see if it pays off.
Next piece of news that we have comes from comicbook.com. This is from Lily Rupert. So let's see. Lily Rupert is reporting on Doom Nintendo Switch team opens up about their dream port. So the team behind an incredible Nintendo Switch ports such as Doom, Wolfenstein 2, and Rocket League have their hands full with the upcoming Switch Warframe project, but the journey is far from over, and for the awesome crew over at Panic Button. We recently got the chance to visit the fine folks over at the Panic Button to tour their lovely studio. We got to admit the passion for the game was incredibly contagious. One thing that was interesting, though, is that of this impossible title that they would want to... Oh, Steve, can you hold on for that video? No. You're killing us. You're killing us, Steve.
I was tired and seen it, so I was like, yeah, you know what? Fucking.
But when speaking with Greg Galley, D. Michael Traub, and Andy Boggs, their answer was surprisingly in sync. So all the game that they all
Really
want to make is Horizon Zero Dawn for the Switch. Kind of impossible considering that Sony owns it.
Yeah.
The answer as to why was pretty simple. It's expansive and the story was stunning. To be able to take Aloy's adventure on the go would be phenomenal. Though I wouldn't hold your breath on an official announcement anytime soon. Not only is the game owned by Sony, but the mechanics of it would have to be completely picked apart. They explained that their process of porting is much bigger than simply translocating a title. They would have to dissect it as a whole to trim in extra game content without actually trimming any of the current content. It's tricky, it's messy, and a game as compact as Horizon Zero Dawn, it's damn near impossible. I think Anthony and I are both fans of Horizon Zero Dawn.
Love it on the Switch. Also, like I said, thought it was an interesting.
Yeah, I would absolutely. Of course, I'd love it on the Switch, but it's one of those. No, it's not going to happen. It's Sony owns it owns it by the balls.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say never. I guess.
Anthony, I'm going to say never say never.
I mean, it's probably not gonna happen. But it's also interesting to say like that was one of the theories. Like I thought maybe like The Last of Us would be interesting to see on the Switch.
That's one of those you'll never see it.
Correct.
It's like you'll
It's
never
true.
see a Mario on a PlayStation console.
Like I said, never. 50 years from now.
Hey, you know what? Fine. 50 years from now, if you're playing Horizon Zero Dawn 3
On the Switch 4.
on the Switch 4,
Let's say
I'm
4.
okay with that.
You're good with that?
Yeah. Speaking of Switch, Ubisoft is bringing 2 more games to the Nintendo Switch, and this is by Robert Workman over at comicbook.com. So there's 2 games that I played and loved. Child of Light Ultimate Edition and Valiant Hearts The Great War.
So also update to that, he also teased Child of Light 2.
Oh, wait a minute. Really?
It's not in there. I actually didn't notice.
Okay.
They sent it afterwards, but on his Twitter account, he had updated the people what he was working on.
Oh, I
And it's
see.
a slight teaser of like a Child of Light 2.
Possibly. All right. I'm a huge fan. For those of you that don't know, Child of Light is a watercolor-based RPG, very similar to Chrono Trigger, and
Unique.
actually similar to Octopath Traveler's Combat a little bit.
Before Octopath. Technically, it's the original unique combat. It has a strategic combat element to it.
Like a timeline-based combat,
Yeah.
which is pretty nice. And then Valiant Hearts is a 2D storytelling game, really. It's more of just like it's not like a walking sim, but you're not really doing much. It's like a puzzle side-scrolling game is what you would call that, because you have to
Is it the story of you go from, it's like the war story?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Because it was free on, I think I do have it.
Yeah, it's a great game. It's amazing. And those are done by UbiArt, and I've said this before, and I will say it again. If Ubisoft wants to keep making the same Assassin's Creed game over and over and over every year, I'm okay with it, as long as they continue to make UbiArt games like Child of Light and Valiant Hearts.
It keeps the smaller indie
Keeps
ones
the
afloat.
smaller indie UbiArt games afloat. I'm cool with it.
The better ones.
Yeah. Looks like we have more Nintendo Switch content. This is coming from NintendoWorldReport.com. The World Ends With You Final Remix reaps October 12th for release date in North America. This is coming from Donald Thoreau. Let's see. Nintendo has confirmed the 10th anniversary release of The World Ends With You will launch in North America on October 12th, 1 week following Super Mario Party. Switch version will add new scenarios and 2-player co-op straight out of the box. Anthony, did you play The World Ends With You on the DS?
No, I did not know it was 10 years old.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yep. I'm not going to lie to you. I am one of the biggest Kingdom Hearts fans that you'll come across. And so when they were like, hey, the studio that made Kingdom Hearts is making The World Ends With You for the DS, I was like, awesome, cool. I picked it up. I played it.
Didn't like it?
Touch controls are terrible.
Yeah,
It completely ruined the game. Didn't like any of the they're live in Tokyo, like that's where they're living, and I was just like,
type.
this is not for Brian. This is not
This
the
is
game.
not Kingdom Hearts. This is not what I waited fucking 20 years for.
Let me tell you about a little waiting game, man. I was waiting for a good portable Kingdom Hearts game, and I thought this was going to be it. Turns out there is no good portable Kingdom Hearts game.
Well,
People will say Birth by Sleep.
Let's
and
not.
let's not poke
In the
the bear.
future, there might be. You never know.
As of August 11, 2018, there is not a good portable Kingdom Hearts game.
I will say I'll agree to that.
There's
That's
some
true.
decent ones, but no good ones. Nothing on the caliber of 1 or 2. Like, not even close.
No, you'd have to take those and put them on
Yeah, the Switch.
the Switch.
Why not?
That's-
Why not?
Yeah, I was hoping for the remix for the on the Switch, but
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Next piece of news that we have comes from Polygon. Colin Campbell over there, killing it over there, by the way, writes Bethesda blocks resale of used games, which is kind of interesting. So many gamers
fucking
sell their
gonna do that?
used physical games, often to supplement spending funds to buy more games. It's such a big part of the gaming business that almost half of retailers, GameStop's profits come from selling used games. So if you want to read the whole thing, go over to Polygon.com and read Colin's article. But some of the things that I wanted to just kind of talk about was Bethesda Software may be seeking to rein in the sales of used online games. They sent out a notice to at least one seller on Amazon Marketplace who was trying to sell a sealed copy of The Evil Within 2, demanding that they remove their listing. So Ryan Hupp
shit.
is a Philadelphia-based
game. So
gamer, I guess, and contacted Polygon to explain how he'd been forced by Bethesda to stop selling his copy of The Evil Within 2. Let's see. In its letter from Bethesda, they make the argument that Hupp Sales was not, quote, by an authorized reseller, end quote, and therefore was, quote, unlawful, end quote. Bethesda also took issue with Hupp's use of the word new in selling the unwrapped game, claiming that this constituted false advertising. So if you want
hardcore
more,
shit.
yeah, if you want more details on that, definitely go over to Polygon.com and check out Colin's full article. It's kind of
Kind of a shitty move.
not what you really want to be doing to your fans.
Considering usually the publicity. I mean, resales doesn't hurt you.
Well, technically it does.
I mean, if he was selling like knockoff brand, like new, like I said, if it was actually a false advertisement of.
Oh, well, no. What I'm saying is, so that guy bought it
Correct. And then didn't want it.
and didn't want it, and he's trying to resell it. So technically, they got the money for the game, but he could have gotten it at a sales price or whatever, and then is selling that game. So the person who then buys that game isn't helping Bethesda at all. What they're doing
Well-
for this is to, instead of, person B buying person A's game, they would rather person B buying it from a store.
Correct. But it's like, that's like, I mean, normally you just go off to GameStop if you're looking for like reselling of.
Well, yeah. If you're looking to buy a used game, you go to GameStop or whatever. But this is technically a new sealed copy. So if he's selling this on Craigslist or Amazon or wherever, he's selling it on Amazon. So he's going to be making, let's say he sells it for $50, $60. The buyer is buying it from him rather than Bethesda. Like, I see what they're doing from a company and money standpoint, financial standpoint. That's the word I'm looking for there. But it's just a shitty, you're not being. You're just creating a
dicks.
toxic environment. Yeah, you're being dicks.
That's kind of.
You're being toxic to your
fan base.
your fan base, which is not what you really want. I mean, I guess Bethesda's huge and they can almost do really whatever they want, but it's still, I feel like it's one of those things. It's the same thing with Nintendo where they censor and fucking trademark all their stuff. It's like, hey, guess what, Nintendo? We did a video review of your, the latest Mario game. Take it down. We don't like it. It's copyright. Blah. It's like,
Well, they steal the money.
come on.
You have to split the
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
ad revenue.
come on.
We're not getting ads, so.
No, but
I know,
you
I'm
did a
just-
bit,
We get ads, bro.
Yeah. Sam
they-
Adams.
Sam Adams.
Look at this.
A better beer.
It's Oktoberfest now.
Oh, right.
Well,
Sorry.
I'm
sorry.
still in the summer. It feels like summer.
Well, not with this rain, bro. Not with this rain.
It's still pretty hot out.
It's a little warm. It's a little toasty in the studio here, but shit happens. Speaking of IGN, though, we have another news story. that Steve's going to pull up for us about one. It's a shitty situation for sure, but what happened is that one of their editors did a Dead Cells review, a video review, and they threw it up on their YouTube, and seemingly there's been some plagiarism, and so
word for word.
very, very similar. So Philip Mewson, their Nintendo ex-editor, I guess, was fired this past week because he plagiarized Boomstick Gaming. And I just want to go out on record and saying Boomstick Gaming did like an amazing job with handling the situation, because what happened was this guy from Boomstick had their review out for I think 2 weeks or something, and then Philip Mewson put up the IGN, and Boomstick was like, "Hey, wait a minute, this is awfully similar to my review." So he did like a side-by-side comparison. He's like, "All right, here's what I said, let's go to Philip. Here's what I said, let's go to Philip." And I think he did a really good job. And at the end of the video, he's like, "All right, so I know it's seemingly like plagiarism, but I'm not going to call him out on it. Like, I'm not saying he plagiarized, but like, what do I do here? Like, let me know. Like, should I contact IGN?" And so clearly it circulated the internet, and IGN ultimately ended up firing him and took down their Dead Cells review, gave it to another reviewer. That reviewer has since put up a new review for Dead Cells. But, like, what are you thinking?
You got to make that quota, you know?
No. You are working at the biggest video game news outlet on the fucking planet.
That makes you wonder how many other things
What
they
is he,
plagiarized.
new or?
He's been there about a year. He's been there about a year.
That's kind of new.
And
Well, how old was he too?
I think he's
Young.
he's under 30-ish.
Okay.
But he's been fired, and like this is gonna get out. You know what I mean? This kind of news gets out, and then no one's gonna hire him.
No, he's never gonna work.
He's never gonna work.
He's not gonna be a writer again. No.
No, for sure. He might go back to his YouTube channel, but it's like, all right,
No one's gonna.
you plagiarized, you got caught, and now why am I going to listen to you? Like, you have no original thought in your brain. Like, maybe he does, and maybe he was under a time crunch. Like, I don't know this dude's personal life. Obviously, I've never met the guy. But if you have, like, I work at a job, you work at a job, you work at a job. If you couldn't do something, if you were like, hey, something's going on in my life where I'm not going to be able to make this deadline, what do you say that to your boss, and you're like, I'm sorry. What happens then?
I don't think
they give it to somebody else.
Maybe even play the game. I mean, we've seen this kind of shit before.
It's a lot to think you're not going to get caught. It's a lot to do to just not, because you have to then, he's not thinking correctly, because say you can't write the article or whatever it is, you know, they might fire you. You know, there might be, but they might just say, something might happen.
I think it's you more likely to get away with shitty.
If you're thinking it through, like if I plagiarize this and I get caught, like my career
is over.
And
but not only as a journalist, but no video game company is going to want, like, he is out of the industry. Like, he's going to.
Plagiarism is a huge deal.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. One shitty review, you can get by.
You know, you can steal money from banks. You can run Ponzi schemes. The one thing, like, you really actually can't do that everybody just thinks is egregious is plagiarize.
I mean, it's just it's laziness on the most ultimate form.
Well, who checked this shit?
Oh, I mean,
Because,
like, it's like, come on, let's be fair though. If I wrote a review,
Well, yeah,
and I gave it to an editor, that guy would then have to check every single review for that game. But you can't do that. It's impossible. Like, you have to go to every little
detailed
outlet that has a review for this and read through it. It's impossible. It's shitty on the guy that reviewed the game. Just don't plagiarize.
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's
like,
no
even
other
if he
way.
was going for, like, oh, this is the template I want to use, that's fine. You can kind of take their template and say what you want to say. But if the video, I saw the video, I watched it, and I was like, okay, the first 2 or 3 he says, I'm like, all right, there's some similarities there. And then towards the end, it's like,
It's completely.
Bro.
He gave up. Like he'd even put in the effort to plagiarize. The
It's
right
like
way.
you take the sentence and you take like if it
copy
was
and paste.
if it's like a sentence that was split by a comma, it's like the second half is at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's like come on.
I
I mean,
go back
like-
and look at all his other stuff new.
People already have, Steve.
Yeah.
People already have.
And
And
is it-
he did a FIFA review on his own personal one that someone found that
was
was
stolen.
that was plagiarized as well. So, and that's one of those things.
Until you get caught.
I mean, like, I don't feel bad for the guy. I don't. But
really.
again,
No,
like,
because
I don't know.
You remember if he plagiarized, he's making money up until that point off of plagiarizing anyway.
Yeah.
So
Maybe he didn't think he was going to get caught. I don't know. But, like, why phone it in? You've made it. You're
so I'm
there.
saying, like, once you're there,
You're
like,
there. You've made it
So now you just
to
do
the
the-
highest
Well, you
point
made
you
it
possibly
by
can.
plagiarizing, wasn't it? Though.
yeah, but then you give up the plagiarism and
Well,
then finally
because
put
he
in the
can't-
work.
Obviously, you can't.
Yeah, and
Fake it
that
till you
that
make
makes
it.
that's a great point, Steve. Like
He
maybe
may not be able
maybe
to.
he got to that point by plagiarism, and then he
Realized.
realized like, oh shit, I shouldn't plagiarize, or maybe he was like, I can't do this work. Let me fall
Right.
back on my bad habits. I don't know, but it's an unfortunate situation. It's a super shitty situation, and I don't put any of the blame on IGN. I fully blame this dude. So.
Yeah. Well, he's the one that did it.
Yeah. Next piece of news. Let's just talk about the Smash. Let's talk about the Smash
Something positive.
Ultimate Direct. So this is right now we're watching the live footage of how it first started off, and it first starts off with.
Well, can I just say, like, the announcement for this direct was fucking, like, abrupt.
Well, that's kind of what they're doing now.
It's just like, oh, we're having a direct fucking August.
2 days,
Yeah.
2 days from now. So can we just talk about Simon Belmont is the new character that they kind of focused on? So Simon Belmont and his Echo Fighter, I can't think of his name right now, Richter?
It is Richter, yep.
But Luigi gets fucking
Dies.
murked.
He dies.
He gets killed right here, Steve. People at
Didn't say
Nintendo
it.
are like, no, he's not
he's-
dying.
he's not dead
He's
yet.
dead. He's a goner. Just watch right now because it's like Luigi's Mansion Luigi right now, and then this gigantic death character. Fucking watch. Here it
Castlevania.
comes.
Oh.
Scythe across the throat. Dead Luigi. He's petrified. That's Luigi Ghost. He's dead.
That's his ghost.
Yeah, he's gone. And then Simon Belmont comes to the
Didn't
rescue.
come in time, but it's okay.
And then, whew. Although I will say, when Ridley was announced, Mario and Mega Man got killed. So when Ridley was first announced, it was like the Metroid, and
Oh, you
it
did
was
see Mario.
Samus, Mario, and Mega Man walking, and then it would just be, whoomp, Ridley's tail goes through Mario. Whoomp,
Correct.
Ridley
Yeah.
tails go through
do
Mega
remember
Man.
that.
And then Samus is like,
I wonder why they had him kill Luigi, because it would have been much more cooler if, like, Simon Belmont comes in and saves the day.
That's what I thought, yeah.
I think they're just killing people. They're just like, fuck it.
Yeah,
they're
it
not
is
saying-
it is the last.
No,
Yeah.
Waluigi.
They're
all
not.
gonna
Yeah.
die.
Then so Simon Belmont got announced. He has his whip. He has all of his like special attacks, so he can throw like holy water, and he can throw axes and those spinning crosses.
Oh, yeah.
So he's got a bunch of different things from the Castlevania series, which is pretty awesome. He has his Echo Fighter, Richter, which is kind of cool. I think here it is. Richter's right here. So for the audio listeners, too bad.
Watch the direct, yeah.
Yeah, watch the direct. But it's really, I thought that this was really cool. Like I like the.
It's going to be interesting to see how many...
I like the third-party characters that
Yeah.
they're bringing in. I'm really a big fan of that. And also, Alucard
Is a assist,
is an assist trophy. So Alucard from Symphony of the Night is an assist trophy, which is pretty awesome. And then who else did they announce? And
What do
they
you want to do next, though?
let's just talk about Dark Samus.
Samus.
Dark Samus is an Echo Fighter as well. So oh yeah, you see Luigi's fucking dead. Look at his eyeballs.
Yeah.
Oh
that-
wait, maybe he's going back into his.
Is that the mask from
Yeah, it is.
2?
Yeah. So, there's Dark Samus. Oh, also we should mention right now, Sakurai is talking, and he's got a yellow and purple chair to troll all of you Waluigi fans.
He'll be there.
He
I think
will not be there.
In the long run.
Well, they have to have done that on purpose.
Yeah.
Do they though?
I mean,
He
I don't
knows.
know. I
He
think
knows.
so.
He knows. But so we got Dark Samus, which is from Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. She's an Echo Fighter. of Samus.
Of Samus.
And then who else do we have? They mentioned.
Cruel.
So yeah, let's hold on. Before that, they did another Echo Fighter. No. So it's Simon and Richter. There is
Dark
Samus. I thought there was another one.
I thought it was only 4.
No, I thought there was 5. But so there's
Chrome.
Chrome. Thank you,
Yeah.
Christ. Is Chrome a new character or is he an Echo Fighter?
I think he's a new character. He's a standalone.
So Chrome is a
Fire Emblem.
this is more up your alley. He's a blue-haired, spiky guy.
Yeah, but like,
How many of these fucking guys are we gonna
Here's
get?
the thing. Here's the problem with the Fire Emblem. Like, who wants who from which Fire Emblem? Like, I don't want Chrome.
Why not?
I want Hector.
Who the fuck is Hector?
Hector's the guy who wields the axe in like the Game Boy Advance one. He's a fucking beast.
Okay,
He's what you want to see in Smash. Like I said, I don't know Chrome. Like Chrome.
from your ass, from your elbow.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of Fire Emblem characters now.
And that's the thing. But how many of these fucking same-looking characters are we gonna get in this?
Well, here's the like you could have from the Game Boy Advance one. You could have done Lyn, but they're assist trophies. That's the problem.
let's just stop Fire Emblem characters for a while, right? Because we already have like 9 of them.
There's a lot of them, and then now there is, and like I said, most people don't know.
Who half of them are?
Yeah.
So it's like I understand if you want to bring in like Daisy, and you're like, okay, Daisy's an Echo character,
Correct.
but like these, it's just like make them fucking skins of existing characters. Like they all look the same.
What's funny is for the Fire Emblem, it's like they take the main character, but like I said, they generically look the same. It's blue or red hair.
Yeah.
But some of the other characters in the game, like the obscure ones,
Mm-hmm.
like that are very prominent in like their
Their main games.
like would be a better fit for the
Smash Brothers.
yeah.
Oh, we should also mention, so Dracula's castle is a stage, and then Dracula will appear as like a boss or a stage hazard, if you will. They also announced that there's like over 900 tracks, musical tracks in this
There's
game.
106 stages.
There's
like
900
tracks. The hazards on the levels are also optional, I believe,
Yeah, you can turn them straight off.
which was absolutely fantastic.
So right now we're watching Alucard beat the shit out of Jigglypuff, so that's kind of cool. You can turn into bat form or mist form and dodge attacks and things like that, so that's pretty cool. But I think we should just talk about the end there. So Steve, if you could do us a huge favor, if you could scroll, keep going. Hold on, go back a little bit. Right there where Sakurai is. Yep.
Get those chairs again.
Okay, let's get this going here. So right now Sakurai's like, but wait, there's one more thing that we want to talk about, and I kind of just want to rewatch this again. Also, notice the eyes pop out on the characters, very similar to Donkey Kong Country 2. When they see a boss, their eyes would pop out,
the
right?
levels, yeah.
You know, they're like, whoa,
The old cartoons of
yeah. So this is pretty fucking awesome.
This is what everyone was waiting for.
So this is what everyone was waiting for. So right now you got
Oh.
Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong just dicking around in their house or
Jungle
cabana,
Jungle
if you will.
Shack.
Their jungle shack.
yeah, I'm gonna call it Love
Yeah.
Shack, I guess.
No, let's just call it the jungle shack.
All right.
And then you see this huge
most
shadow of King K. Rool and then boom, King DDD is just fucking with you. It's just a troll.
The wide eyes.
Wide-eyed, and King DDD's laughing at him, fuck you. And then, bam, King K. Rool kills King DDD. Just dead. And so now King K. Rool is actually a character in Smash Brothers, which is fucking awesome. Because people have been asking for him for years, probably since Brawl, and now he's a character. He's got, the cannon from Donkey Kong Country. He's got his golden plate belly. Just awesome looking character. I'm very excited to try him out. I think he's going to be a heavy character like Bowser.
Yeah. He's pretty much the match, the
Yeah.
equivalent of.
Bowser. But I think, and he can throw his crown just like he can in fucking Donkey Kong Country. How cool is that? Wow.
With the stage.
Yep. So you'll be sure to be getting a stage like that. So I don't know. I think it was really cool. I was kind of hoping that they were trolling you when they first showed, and then King DDD popped out. I truly wish that that's how the direct ended, and then next direct they actually announced King K. Rool. You know what I mean? It was like King DDD, and he was just like, ha ha ha, I'm laughing at you, and then that was the end of the direct.
As direct, and
then the next one they do it again, and they bring in King K. Rool.
It's getting pretty close to the.
I mean, we have 4 months.
Yeah, but I mean,
they also announced that there's going to be more characters to be announced.
I mean, if we're hoping for characters to be announced, there's only a few more
that you really want.
I mean, like you said, third party is kind of the way to go. Like the option of third party is an extensive list.
It's also important to announce that they announced a bunch of assist trophies, which means that they're probably not going to be characters. So Knuckles is an assist trophy now. He's not going to be in it. Shovel Knight is an assist trophy.
Saw that, yeah.
He's not going to be in it, which is kind of like the 2 big ones that I was like, oh man, that kind of sucks. Like
Shovel Knight would have been
a great character.
Yeah.
Although I will say you could probably get Shadow as an Echo character for Sonic, and I'm hoping for Proto Man as an Echo character for Mega Man.
I mean, Tails could still Tails is assist, isn't he?
I think Tails is already an assist trophy, but
so it limits the Sonic universe. But like I said, there's obviously other universes, even from their own IPs that they could kind of use.
Oh, for sure, yeah. They could definitely use some more F-Zero characters. Like they could use the the samurai guy from F-Zero would be kind of cool. But he's already an assist trophy. Fuck. All right. Well,
what's the villain in the?
It's like a Blood Falcon, I think is his name. He's got the red. He's a red Captain Falcon.
Yeah.
He has his skin is already there.
You could do that as
an Echo fighter.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of cool. All right. We've also got 2 more big gameplay trailers we should talk about. Let's do Red Dead. Red Dead Redemption 2.
Red Dead. Wow.
Yeah. Came out. This trailer came out
Wednesday.
No,
Tuesday.
Thursday. Thursday. Came out Thursday. And this looks fucking awesome. I can't tell you how excited I am to play this game.
Brush up on my gun.
I haven't watched anything about Red Dead Redemption, but I saw it was a gameplay trailer, and I was like, I need to see how it looks and how it plays. And everything that we're watching right now is
actual
in-game footage. Gorgeous. You play as, I forget his name, Arthur something, and he's part of the gang that John Marston leaves in Red Dead Redemption 1. So technically Red Dead Redemption 2 is a prequel to 1. So there's fist combat. Apparently they've improved literally everything. So there's fist combat, horse combat. I think there's still carriages in this. The gunplay is still the same, and they've brought back the Deadeye system from the first one. So there's also. Did you watch the full gameplay trailer here or no?
No, I only got half. I was at work, so I got about halfway. It told the story aspect of it, and then after that.
Did they show you? Did you get to see the base? It's like settlement style, where you are a gang, and you can recruit people to your gang, and they can be good at one thing, and so that's the blacksmith or whatever. And then you can go out hunting and bring food and other things to your settlement. So you're supplying the settlement.
It's the funds kind of the settlement, which would actually be the correct name for the time period anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So obviously it's Rockstar, so they're going to knock it out of the park on storytelling. They're going to knock it out of the park on world building and gunplay. There's not much that I can think of that's going to suck with Red Dead Redemption 2.
It's just it's pretty much the updated
version of Red Dead
on a new system.
Although what I will say is I'm extraordinarily excited to see how this story plays out, because you get snippets of it in Red Dead Redemption 1 where it's they had a sniper. The sniper was a Native American. And they had, John Marston ran away with a prostitute who is now, his wife in the
so it's previous characters he had met early on in his journey. So
yeah, earlier on in his journey. And you don't play as John Marston. He's just a side character here. So I'm so stoked for October 26th. Can't wait.
I said I haven't played the first one, so...
Oh my God,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So I might play that one before, because I did pre-order this. Play that first and then go straight into that. That way it's kind of...
fresh in your...
Even mechanic-wise.
No, to get ready, you got to play Gun.
And then you got to play Red Dead.
And then you jump into this.
So it's Red Dead Gun?
No, it's Gun first.
And then it's just Red Dead 2.
All the way. And then Gun 2. and then Gun
no-
3, and then Red Dead Redemption 1.
So really, Gun
All the
3?
gun now.
There is a Red Dead Revolver, which is
Isn't that the?
it's the first one,
Oh,
but
no.
no one really. So this is cool. So you can beat the shit out of people and
Threaten,
witnesses and
yeah.
threaten, or you can you can just walk past. If someone's like, "Hey, mind your fucking business," he's like, "You know what? I don't give a shit," and you just walk away. And you can help people, and they can become your friends to go to your settlement, or you can, if you kill somebody, this woman is saying like, "Hey, you killed my cousin," and
It affects you.
He's just like, "Fuck you, I don't care." And you can save people, you can threaten people. There's lots of different options that you can do, and it doesn't look like there's a morality system
was gonna say
so
this.
far that there was in the first one, where it's like, oh, you're really bad.
You're
so
an
people,
outlaw, like people. You're wanted. Pretty
yeah.
much.
So people, instead of just like, oh, good action, bad action, it's here are two actions that you can choose from. You have to live with those consequences, whether it be, you killed a bandit, but that bandit had, powerful friends somewhere. So
That
you
are
thought
after
you
you.
were going to do the good thing, but now you have to deal with like the shit end of the stick. Or, like you
the
killed
rest of his crew.
you killed somebody, and that somebody is a son of a mayor or something. It's like, you got to live with your
It
consequences.
affects
so,
you in the settlement, I guess, in all aspects of the game,
Mm-hmm.
kind of down the line.
yeah. So I'm more excited about this than I am the next game.
Yeah,
But the next game is Doom Eternal. So during QuakeCon, I think it happened yesterday,
Friday,
actually.
yeah.
So Friday, we had gameplay footage of Doom Eternal, which looks fucking awesome. So they came out and said, listen, we're making the most badass human being protagonist you've ever seen. And yeah, he is. So now he's got a knife on his hand, like a blade on his gauntlet or whatever.
so like the Predator was.
And he's got a grappling hook now, a grappling hook that shoots out of his shotgun, so it makes traversal a hell of a lot easier. So you're just fucking whipping around like Metroid Prime style.
It's a fast pace.
But it's super fast, and you're just cutting people in half, no
The
problem.
chainsaw always.
Yeah, and then look at this gun. This is a sexy ass gun. So it's one of those. I mean, I love the gameplay of the first one. Like this was Gary's game, and he was like, "You'll love it, you'll love it, you'll love it." And it's fast paced and quick and fun and frantic. I never played like the crazy difficulties because I just wanted to have a great time. And this guy is just
Having a
killing
good time.
demons left and right. What's really cool though, you guys know War Machine from the Avengers? Like he's the Iron Man, but it's black and gray.
Yeah.
He's got like this giant Gatling gun that comes over his head and shoots. With this, he's got a giant flamethrower. Oh, this guy just shoved a demon's exploding heart into his mouth and killed him.
The deaths were actually the animations for like killing the enemies in the-
demons are
pretty fucking
amazing.
cool.
It does look like it's on Earth now because there's lots of more human-esque looking demons.
Like I said, I didn't see this. It was actually someone at work had mentioned like where this took place within the timeline of the Doom universe.
I don't know
whether
if there's like a timeline-wise, but it's probably after 1.
he thinks it's directly after or prequel to the last game.
I would say it's probably. I would say it's a direct
After,
sequel.
yeah.
But there's like human-looking dudes. It looks like they're like Marines previously that got infected, type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So like these guys are clearly demons. But then there's the guy. They have hair. They have human faces with hair but red eyes. Oh, look at that fucking grappling hook, man. That looks
mechanic.
so awesome.
You're gonna be swinging around Spider-Man pretty soon. I don't know if the
you
grappling
know-
hook mechanic's gonna.
You know what, Ant? That's a good fucking point, pal.
Yeah.
There's no release date for this, right? I think it's 2019. So, I don't know. It looks awesome. I'm sure Gary's going to have a blast. We're going to have to get him on here to talk about that.
You gonna pick it up though?
I don't know if it'll be a day one
Day one.
purchase, depending on when it releases. You know, if there's not a whole lot of stuff going on, it's going to probably be picked up. But if there's lots of other things that I'm currently playing, it's like I waited on the first
Black
Doom.
Friday. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I waited on the first Doom. I borrowed it from you, and then I ended up buying it because I really enjoyed the game. But yeah, I think this is if I mean, it looks like it plays. If it has the RPG elements of upgrading your guns and collecting things, and they had like exploration, which I really was not nervous, but like I was surprised about. In the first one, where like you could pick up those little plushie dolls, and they're like little Doom guys.
They always have like the few collectibles. this one kind of looks more open than.
Yeah, this one looks a little bit more open and not so linear. But this is just one level. You know what I mean? Because you were on Mars at one point.
And then in hell.
And then in hell, and they're a little bit. Mars was big, wide, and open, and then hell was a little bit more narrow. Climbing. That's cool. I didn't even fucking see that.
I mean, you shoot the grappling hook.
I mean, you could just shoot the grappling hook, but what if there's no grappling? Oh, you know what, Anthony? That's a good point. It's a good point. Making good points, kid.
I don't know. But I
Ooh.
do need to mention that this also comes out for the Switch.
This game comes out on PC, Xbox One, PS4, Switch, all the same day, is what they said, which is awesome because that's one of those things that I wasn't nervous about when Bethesda was like, hey, we're going to be supporting Nintendo Switch. It's like, all right, yeah, you're bringing the game 6 months later. But now they're caught up. You know what I mean? Wolfenstein, they're like, all right, Wolfenstein's out. Now our new games are going to be day and day with everything else, which I think is awesome.
I think it must be that they're selling
well
enough.
Yeah, they got to be selling well.
I mean, we covered the numbers of Wolfenstein 2.
Yeah, well, we did cover the Wolfenstein 2 numbers and then it being on the Switch, so they must be doing something right. I mean, people aren't like, damn it, I want more games on the Switch because there's a shit ton of games on the Switch, but like shooters, there's a lack of, except for Bethesda, and Bethesda does arguably one of the best first-person shooters. Like, they're just great at it. So I'm excited. Are you going to pick this up on Switch, or are you going to do more? I feel like
I was thinking like day one for the Switch might. It's like I said before. If you have Garrett, it's an interesting comparison. Just seeing like the differences. Like if he gets PC
and I get PS4 and you get Switch, it'd be good to see the differences. Yeah,
of what
sure.
they kind of. I mean, it's going to be a dumbed down version.
He just punched that guy's head into his chest.
Classic Doom.
Classic McGruber. All right, I think that's going to be it. I think, Steve, do we have any other pieces of news?
Don't think so.
All right, if you guys wanted to go watch those full videos, definitely just go over to youtube.com and you'll find them. But thank you guys so much for watching another great episode of the Tangent Podcast. What is this guy saying? Oh, we
actually had someone in the chat.
We've got somebody in the chat.
Still beautiful, babe. Thank you.
Still beautiful, babe. But thank you guys so much for watching and checking in. If you guys like what you hear and like what you see, please go over to twitch.tv/PXLPTS and follow us there. Or go over to youtube.com/pixelatedpoints. Subscribe to our YouTube channel there. Or you could just go over to Twitter and follow us on Twitter at PXLPTS or at Tangent_podcast. That's where we send out all of the stuff that we do. But while you're over on Twitter, follow me at It'sAMeBT, and Anthony, you are
at Margin Erebus.
Steve
at Steven_Sal.
And that's going to be it for another episode of the Tangent Podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll catch you guys next week.
So creepy.
I'm doing it for DJA. That's it. I'm doing it for the
Sure,